Andrade. Both fighters weighing in at 168 pounds. Both fighters 28 years of age. Andrade 1 inch taller. Time for the rules. Here's Harold Letterman.
The Kessler Libretto Andrade fight is scheduled for 12 rounds using the rules of the World Boxing Council. There is no 3 knockdown rule. Only the referee can stop the fight. A case that is caused by an accidental headbutt. We order the scorecards at the start of the 5th round, and you cannot be saved by the bell at any round, including the 12th and final round. Bob.
And here comes Libretto Andrade, born in Mexico, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada. Emmanuel, you had a chance to watch film of Andrade, and he is a cool customer in the ring, isn't he?
He's a customer who applies a lot of pressure, and he's very relaxed. And I think a big reason why he's so relaxed, he tells us that he spars a lot. He doesn't punch bags, skip rope. He boxes so much, so when he gets in the ring, he's at home. That's his workshop, and he's very comfortable. And I think he's going to be a big problem tonight for Kessler.
This is his first World Championship fight. Max, let's take a closer look at Libretto Andrade.
He had a real career turnaround, Andrade did. As an amateur, he had under 20 fights, lost almost all of them. As a pro in 24 fights, he's undefeated. And was told by his manager, Al Heyman, to act like a champion. He had the chance to go and help Bernard Hopkins prepare for a fight by sparring with Hopkins. Heyman said, no, you can't be thinking of yourself as a sparring partner, but instead as a winner, wouldn't let him go spar with Hopkins. He was going to have a job at Jack in the Box, making potentially one day as much as $40,000 a year. His last fight against Otis Grant, he made $80. He made $250,000 to step aside so that Kessler could fight Marcus Beyer, and is getting $500,000 tonight. I guess he made the right career choice, Bob.
Said he learned a lot working at Jack in the Box. And he loves the challenge that tonight presents. And now they wait for Miguel Kessler to make his ring entrance. With tremendous fanfare, much of the delight of his countrymen. Since we are not the host broadcaster, they work on their own time schedule. Emmanuel, when you're like Andrade and you're waiting in the ring for this presentation, and what are you telling your fighter?
Well, a lot of times I try to, myself, I hate to have my fighter even watch the other fighter coming in, because it's sometimes the whole fight is lost. We can see it right there. He gets so intimidated by the crowd, by the appearance of the guy coming in with the belts and everything. I try to keep him focused, tell him not even look at the other guy, and keep talking to him continually. But I think Andrade is the type of a guy that's very comfortable with himself, very matured, and I think he knows what to expect. And I don't think it's necessary to talk to him that much.
He said, I'm going to just block it out, the crowd. I mean, do you have to keep him moving, just keep him warm? Because you warmed him up in the dressing room. But you need to keep him doing things in the ring and not stand flat-footed?
I think he's doing the right thing right there. He seems to be very comfortable. You got to remember, his key trainer for this fight right here is also Wayne McConnell, who has never been involved in a fight of this magnitude. The fight himself has never been nothing of this magnitude. And then at a new, strange country on top of that. So it's a lot for everybody. It's not like one guy's experiencing these situations. But I think Andrade himself is a cool guy who's very relaxed with this atmosphere and is a very unusual person.
Here comes Miguel Kessler, born and raised here in Copenhagen. 36 of his 38 fights have been in his native Denmark. Emmanuel, he was willing to go on the road, though, for his first title defense. He went to Australia, so he's not afraid to travel if given the opportunity.
Well, I think Kessler is just a tremendously talented old-school type fighter. In fact, both guys are. And Kessler has, which is my favorite punch, a good left jab. In fact, when we interviewed him, we asked him, did he know of any fighter who had a really good jab, but he didn't want to admit that anyone had a better jab than he did. So I like his ring intelligence, his left jab, and his ability to set the pace and keep a certain distance.
He was at a career crossroads at the age of 16. He was working at a Mercedes-Benz school. He would run in the morning, fix cars for 8 hours, train at night. Said, I was exhausted. And I said, something had to give. And he said, boxing took over the auto mechanic field, and it's worked out quite well for Miguel Kessler. And he is a technician, which kind of comes from his training as a mechanic, in the fact that he is technically sound when he is in that ring.
Very interesting person, though. You know, he loves his wild, exotic things such as the motorcycle ride, but then by the same token, he likes to golf. I'm quite sure when he's golfing, he puts a nice shirt on so his tattoos don't show when he's with his golfing world.
He had some injury concerns over the last couple of years, had surgery on his left elbow. He said it wasn't a big deal, fractured his hands. He has some titanium in both hands with a knuckle and wrist, but he says it's really not a factor. He says he feels as good as he's ever felt going into a fight.
Yeah, he's had some serious injuries, the back problems and hand problems, which are both serious. But he has that aura of a superstar. I don't mean just boxer. He has a superstar image and aura as if he was even a rock star, whatever it is. And you can't give that to individuals. They have that or they don't have it.
Manuel, what about when you have a fighter fighting in his hometown, as far as not being too keyed up early on and that adrenaline rush that could go away quickly?
That can be a problem sometimes, as we often saw a lot of fighters who got beat fighting in their hometown. You know, Corey Spriggs because in the Zab Judah and big fight because it was so wrapped up with handling tickets and doing things of that nature. But I don't think that's going to be the case here tonight. I think he's used to fighting before big crowds. And as I said earlier, Bob, he just has that rock star aura about him. And that's something that very few athletes have. And he's going to be a big star in boxing after tonight.
And he has tremendous respect for his opponent as well. A healthy dose of respect for Andrade.
It's interesting. Both guys have tremendous respect, and neither one would degrade the other. And even when we were talking about the previous sparring session, neither one said too much about it, said you can't tell too much in sparring. And I agree with it.
Miguel Kessler working his way toward the ring here in Copenhagen. Max, let's take a closer look at Miguel Kessler.
Well, he kicks left, throws right, can right with both hands. He's ambidextrous. I've never met an ambidextrous guy until a couple of months ago. We met Kelly Pavlik, also ambidextrous at middleweight, the division right below. Maybe he has the best jab around him. And I don't know how many guys. He's on a short list of best jabs in boxing, and he likes life in the fast lane. Fast cars, motorcycles, claims he got rid of his motorcycle to appease his manager, but I'll bet you dollars to, well, kroners to donuts that he's still got it hidden somewhere.
Let's take a look at the judges for tonight's contest. Tommy Kazmarek from the United States, John Keane from England, and Tom Miller from the United States. The referee is from Texas, Lawrence Cole, who is currently serving a 6-month suspension in the state of Texas, coupled with a $500 fine. And all of the result of this Juan Manuel Marquez fight back in November. Cole offering advice, which is against the rules, that earned him a suspension.
Habla inglés? You're ahead on the scorecards, okay? Can you see how many fields I got?
And why, you ask, Cole is refereeing tonight despite the suspension. He has been appointed by one of the sanctioning bodies.
Challenge 18 on knockout. The official challenger from Mexico, fighting out of USA, Librado Andrade. And, ladies and gentlemen, fighting out of the red corner, WBA Super Champ, WBC champ, weighed in at 76.2 kilograms for 38 fights. Everyone won, and 29 on knockout. Let's hear it for Miguel Kessler! All right, let's clear the ring and let's get this party started.
So Kessler and Andrade set to start. Miguel Kessler last fought on October the 14th. A third-round stoppage of Marcus Bayer. A perfect 1-2 combination.
Andrade says he's addicted to his adrenaline. He's going to need it against Kessler, who's a meticulous boxer puncher.
And now the ring is finally cleared and we are set. Round one. Manuel, what do you look for early here from Kessler, who tends to start slow?
Well, I'm looking to see how he makes the adjustment in height, because normally he's boxing guys who are a little smaller than him. And as a result, he's fighting a guy that's bigger than him, that's putting pressure, but it's pressure coming from a taller guy, which is different. And I'm trying to see how he makes his adjustment to that.
And Andrade starting with a body attack.
Kessler keeps good position at all times. Even when he's blocking punches, he's always in a position to counter and take advantage of mistakes. And that's the one thing that Andrade's got to be very careful when he comes in and doesn't leave himself too open.
There's the stiff jab from Kessler, and he backs away.
So far, Kessler seems a little bit sharper than Andrade, and Andrade is keeping his head up when he's coming in. And the way that Kessler studies his opponents, he's going to take advantage of that.
And there's that 1-2 that Kessler is so proficient at.
What was most interesting to me about that exchange is Andrade showed what Marquez and Barrera were doing last week, punching last. You see when Andrade gets hit, he wants to get his shots off in return.
That lead left hook that Kessler likes to mix into the attack too.
Yeah, but Kessler right now is fighting a very smart fight. His punches are a little shorter, more to the inside, whereas Andrade's punches are a little bit wide, a little bit outside, but more so than that, Andrade leaves his head up when he's coming in. And Kessler, I can assure you, is going to analyze where his head is going to be when he's coming in and taking advantage of that as the fight progresses.
Both of those body shots blocked by the elbows of Kessler. Manuel, when Andrade comes leaning in, he kind of comes in with his head, he starts going side to side. What can Kessler do to counter off that?
Well, what Kessler's doing right now is counter. He's taking that little half a step sometimes and shooting a little check hook, as we call it. But the most important thing is when Andrade comes forward, Kessler doesn't just stand and block punches. He often goes to the side.
Andrade got a left hook of his own in there, and he got Kessler backing up.
He got Kessler's attention, and he actually, I think, hurt Kessler for a second.
The thing that makes Andrade dangerous is his pride.
Yeah, he's not
going to let you tag him and just get away with it. On the other hand, Manny, as this fight progresses, Kessler's such a good counter puncher, it could cost Andrade.
But also Andrade is the type of guy that's going to take him to school and test him tonight. He's going to be tested tonight. Because Andrade is a big guy. He's not used to guys attacking him from that height. He's used to guys short that he can control. And Andrade is coming in with a lot of pressure.
And there's the end of the first round. Good action in round number one for Kessler and Andrade.
And I think both fighters have developed great respect for each other after that first round, too.
He's very happy with the first round. Keep using your left. He's going to walk right into your right when you keep using your left. Keep your distance, he'll come to you. Just one step back into the side and he'll walk right into you.
Brad, look at me, you hear me? You're hurting the damn shots to the body, he doesn't like it. Just banging double hooks to the body, back on the jab on the outside. Stay away from his jab in the middle. Stay away from the middle. Angles is perfect, do you hear me?
Wayne McCullough, champion in the corner of Andrade.
Just once, I want to hear a guy say, don't go to the body. He loves it down in the body.
Round number two begins for Andrade and Kessler.
At this stage right here, Andrade looks like he's coming on good. Even though Kessler's a sharper fighter, Andrade starting to set the tempo now. And I don't know if that Kessler's going to be prepared to take the punishment that he's going to take in this fight as it progresses.
Andrade again short with that long right hand. You almost get the sense from Kessler's body language that he realizes right now, compared to his last fights, this is not going to be as easy as they were.
I agree with you, Bob. I was getting ready to say the same thing. Even though this guy doesn't have the big name of the guys he's fought, this is the best fighter that he's ever fought, I think. And the records reflect it. They're both undefeated, and they're fighting like two undefeated fighters.
Short right inside from Kessler. Max, you're seeing Andrade again. You know, we talked to him yesterday. He said he's cool, he's calm, kind of goes in there, feels out his opponent, and he seems to be sticking with that mindset.
You know, he's getting hit with punches, but I don't think the fact that he can take a punch is going to hurt him that much. And I think the guy that's been hurt the most in this fight thus far has been Kessler. I think the first round he was actually hurt.
Andrade says he puts pressure, but not constant pressure. He likes to vary it. But Kessler is such a patient fighter. He works so patiently behind his good left jab.
Well, I tell you, for this fight here, Andrade's putting pressure on him, making him fight at a faster tempo than he's used to. Even though he may have a little slight edge, he's fighting at a much faster pace than he likes to fight at. And I don't think he's that comfortable with the pace that the fight is going at.
You know, Manny, in studying the tape of Kessler, that 1-2 right there, he likes to lead with it, but he's being forced to counter with that instead of dictating the pace.
Yeah, even though he's landing punches, Andrade's putting pressure on him.
I would say after that punch, Kessler is the guy who's landed the best punches in the fight.
He's definitely landed the best punches. Make no mistake about it. But he's going to have to land a lot of those best punches the way it's going.
Well, he just landed another.
Yeah, and he mixed in a left hook to the chin in the middle of that sequence. Andrade in the black trunks continuing to pressure Kessler. Kessler, though, with some blistering punches, like a good right hand there.
Tremendous punches, good ring generalship. He's doing everything right. But he's going to have to continue to do that for quite a while.
Perfect round. Keep going at him. Keep going at him to your own right and then use the hook. Use your head and move to the sides. When you go right to his right, you won't get hit.
Right here you see Kessler landing his pinpoint punches, which he's known for. And just the surprise is that all of those punches he's landed hasn't hurt Andrade, but he lands a great body shot there also.
You see, Kessler can be hit, but he doesn't tend to get hit with anything stupid. And I think for Andrade to win this fight, he's going to have to catch Kessler with something stupid.
I don't think he's going to catch him with anything stupid.
I don't think so either.
Technician.
And I don't think so either.
I think he can just maybe wear him down maybe, but just any one punch, no, that's not going to happen.
Would you advise him to stay with the body then?
Now, I think everybody's fighting a perfect fight at this stage. Kessler has an edge, but he's going to have to be prepared to withstand a strong finish at the end.
Andrade again short with that right hand.
If Andrade can get to the end with Kessler throwing those and landing those kind of shots, my hat's off to him.
Great combination by Kessler.
The normal fighter would have been down from that. I mean, Kessler's landing pinpoint accuracy punches, and everything is proper. The only thing is Andrade's taking those shots. And actually, even though he's been hit clean, he hasn't been actually seriously hurt still.
It's true. He's shown a great chin so far. Andrade has.
But Emmanuel, can he sustain taking these kind of shots and get to 12 rounds?
I don't know. I find it difficult, but he may be able to do it. He may be able to do it. He spares a lot in the gym, and he has good stamina. He's very relaxed.
Little blood from the nose of Kessler.
That from a right hand from Andrade.
The surprise that Andrade has kind of strayed away from some of the body shots that he threw in round one?
No, I haven't. I think he's fighting exactly as I figured it was. Putting a lot of pressure on Kessler. Even though Kessler's winning, he's still having, as I said earlier, fight at a much faster pace than he wanted to fight at.
Another great 1-2 from Kessler.
This is turning out to be a tremendous fight.
Manuel, that good, stiff, strong jab seems to be a lost art.
Well, he's having to fight more now. Andrade throws the right hand and then lets his body move into a southpaw position. Things that Kessler's not used to. Even though he's winning, I'm beginning to see a little worry in his face.
It is an exciting fight, but it's really one-sided. It's also really an exhibition so far by Kessler. But Andrade's heart is allowing it to be this kind of an exhibition.
But I don't know if Andrade himself can take this all night.
Well, isn't the old adage, the man who punches straightest usually wins?
Yep, but then also it's a courage factor too sometimes. And I think that both guys are fighting a good fight. And I think that as the fight goes on, if it goes much longer, it's going to be even better.
Two hooks to the body from Andrade. Counter left hand by Andrade. Kessler responds. Good left hand by Kessler. Some heavy punches landed in round 3 by Miguel Kessler. Well, they love it here in Denmark. Andrade not enjoying it. Well, Monday night at 10 p.m., catch the premiere of the UCLA Dynasty, a look back at the great Bruins basketball teams of the 60s and 70s, who won 10 national championships under legendary coach John Wooden. Real Sports returns April 16th with a piece on NBA star Stephon Marbury's new sneakers, the $14.98 Starbury, which he hopes will stop kids from committing robbery, assault, and even murder for a new pair of shoes.
He's got his right hand low. You will catch him with the left hook, and you'll hurt him with the hook.
Coach is out!
Thank you.
Bucks!
As we begin the 4th. No knockdown so far in the fight. Kessler's accuracy picking up as each round goes by. Harold Letterman, how do you have it scored through 3?
Okay, Bob, 3-0, 30-27, Mikkel Kessler. I tell you, Bob, what I love is the movement. The guy goes to the left, goes to the right, goes backwards. You know, he moves in when he has to. Beautiful ring generalship by Mikkel Kessler. On the other hand, Andrade seems to be flailing away, very often off balance, rushing Kessler, and he doesn't have his feet under him, so he can't land the strong shots. But Kessler, very, very well balanced, moving beautifully, great ring generalship, and a heck of a left jab. 3-0, Kessler.
And Harold, I think we all agree with your assessment.
But you know, Kessler has such great eye contact focus. At all times, he's continually keeping his eyes directly on his opponent. And in addition to watching him, he's actually studying his opponent. And he's beginning now to anticipate where Andrade's head is going to be before he punches. And he's picking up his pace with more accurate punches now.
And you see Andrade able to reach Kessler at times. You can touch him. His face is bloody, but again, with nothing crazy. Kessler doesn't get caught with big shots. He gets caught with the little shots.
Kessler's punching a little harder now, and he's actually finding his target a lot more than he was. But if I was in Kessler's corner, I would be still very worried.
Now, Kessler has gotten through most of his career without any kind of serious injury as far as cuts. What happens when a fighter sees his own blood for the first time?
Yeah, but I don't think that's bothering him that much. It's a nosebleed, and he's doing everything proper right now. 1-2, left hook, everything is proper.
I mean, Andrade's chin is made of granite.
And
He is taking pinpoint I mean, Kessler's unloading lefts and rights right on the button, and Andrade's walking through them, and Kessler can punch.
And when you see Andrade moving and look like he's falling off, it's because he's bad balance. He hasn't been seriously hurt yet.
And Kessler hasn't fallen for that. Kessler has not been lured into really going after Andrade because Andrade's been knocked off balance, knowing Andrade has not been badly hurt.
Miguel Kessler is putting on a show here in Copenhagen.
You know, I mentioned earlier that Kessler's not used to fight at this pace. I don't think that Andrade himself is probably the one that's punching at him like this with such power and such accuracy, too.
Another dominant round for Miguel Kessler. You saw our graphics, you saw it spelled M-I-K-K-E-L. But in Danish, it's pronounced as if it's a G. Miguel.
Yeah, it's especially just like you say nickel, the money nickel. He said that's the way you call it.
He's going to be earning more than nickels with these kind of performances. This is a soccer stadium configured for boxing. And the fans in Copenhagen have turned out to see Miguel Kessler. He's doing well.
Keep moving right and use your right hook. Keep moving to the sides and he'll walk right into it. Go to his left and hit him. Use the right hook constantly. He will walk right into it.
Right here you see Kessler coming back with a beautiful punch over the jab. He's doing everything right. And as you notice, very few clinches. Perfect right hand.
Seconds out. Let's go, Wayne.
Andrade has taken a lot of punishment. And he has not gone down to this point. Game, a lot of heart.
Kessler's accuracy is unbelievable. He's punching exactly the way he wants to punch. He's letting everything, and not so much with the left jab, which he normally takes advantage of his short opponents with, but he's landing right hand, left hooks, everything tonight.
Well, he usually has to wait for his guy before he can unload those combinations to make a mistake, but Andrade, because he's coming forward without a great defense, is presenting him the opportunity.
Andrade's taking his head up even higher. Now, every punch that he throws, he pushes his head up and down.
Thumping right hand from Kessler. He is landing his power shots at 47% here in the fight. What about the steam coming out of Andrade? We see his mouth open.
Yeah,
guys like Holyfield would always leave his mouth open, but do you think he's getting a little tired?
I think that Andrade himself is getting tired, and the fact that his punches are so wide and looping shots now. And it's just really a matter of how many punches can he take now. That's what it's coming down to. Because Kessler, surprisingly to me to some degree, has not folded under the pressure of the fight, and he's actually seemingly picking up steam himself.
Brief respite here for Andrade. He's not getting pounded. Chant of Miguel again here at the Parkin Arena. Urging on Miguel Kessler. Another right hand to the ear.
Pretty soon it is going to be a question of how much Andrade can take. Not in terms of his going down, but in terms of maybe Wayne McCullough in the corner stopping it, or Lawrence Cole stopping it. It reminds me a little bit of Larry Holmes and Tex Cobb, early 80s or mid 80s. Right after Holmes fought Cooney, Cobb had a great chin and just took 15 rounds of savage punishment. There was never really that one moment where it made sense to stop the fight, but after 7 or 8 rounds, you could have stopped it at any point.
I agree with you. Now, in this case, Andrade still has not been hurt seriously in this fight still. But he's getting hit more with more power shots. And what is so important, Kessler doesn't just block his punches when he comes in where Andrade could keep his balance. He moves out of the way, moves in a circle.
Andrade taking a lot of punishment once again in round 5. Sunday, April 15th. Tune in to the premiere of our special 4-episode countdown series, De La Hoya Mayweather 24/7. We'll take our cameras to Puerto Rico and Las Vegas for a revealing look at these 2 future Hall of Famers as they get set for their May 5th 154-pound championship live on HBO pay-per-view.
You need to be at each side, and you need to get in close. On the outside, you can't do that. You need to be inside. You hear me? We're in. What round are we going to? 5 or 6? We're going to round 6. You need to step it up now. Come on. The way you did in the first round, get angles and hit the body. Use your jab. Stay off his jab. Do you hear me? Nice piece.
What the girls are winning? Seconds out. Go, coaches. Go, Wayne.
Oh, it's that good. Wow.
As I was saying just before the bell rung the last round, the big difference in this fight is Kessler is always moving away. He doesn't stand and block the punches from Andrade like a lot of previous opponents, which permits Andrade to keep his balance. By moving back, it's really making him get out of position and really making him be exposed for his awkwardness and his out of balance position.
I mentioned Holmes and Cobb and where this fight could be stopped by McCullough in the corner or Lawrence Cole. There are a couple of issues there. One, McCullough took tremendous punishment himself, so knows what it is to fight through it, maybe expects the same of his fighter, who clearly can do the same. He can fight through a lot of punishment. 2, Andrade can really punch, and so he has a puncher's chance throughout this fight. And Lawrence Cole, the referee, this last suspension is the latest in a latest bad judgment he's shown in a career where he's shown plenty of bad judgment.
In Andrade's career, though, of his 18 knockouts, 16 of those knockouts have come within the first 4 rounds. According to CompuBox, Kessler has outlanded Andrade 94-19 over the last 3 rounds.
94-19.
94-19.
And Andrade's shots are not landing with real force.
No. Emmanuel, as a Hall of Fame trainer, what is that decision that you have to make in the corner where you finally say enough for your man?
Well, you know, you see him getting hit. You know he's holding it behind. But in this case, sure, you would never stop this fight if I was in the corner of Andrade because he's a puncher himself. And he's getting hit a lot, but he's never been seriously hurt. And, you know, a lot of guys get hit and you just let it go. And then you say, well, at a certain point you stop it. But in this case, sure, I would not stop it.
Manny, I know what you mean. Because here you really have a puncher. And for some reason, the way Andrade's reacting to punches tells you maybe he can go some more. I just wonder how much more.
There's that movement Max you talked about earlier with Kessler, the way he's able to move out of the way. And Manny, you talked about it.
Yeah,
not get caught clean.
And that's what makes it difficult. Andrade keeps continually losing his balance and getting out of position. Whereas if Kessler would just bid in and block punches, it would be different. But right there, it's hard to see. That's a good example there still. And then he's coming back and taking advantage of Andrade while he's out of position.
Another straight right hand from Kessler. Lands flush.
But Andrade is still, I think, very much in this fight. Even though he may be behind, I still see him moving in and still being extremely competitive and a little look of discomfort on the face of Kessler.
Short left hand by Andrade. They're too few and far between, and then Kessler wraps him with a left hand. 1-2 combination.
Tremendous right on the chin punches, but none of them seriously hurt Andrade still.
But the one good punch from Andrade negated.
I know you can take a shot, put your hands up. I can't. I know you put the shot. Why?
They shouldn't do that. It's okay.
It's good. You know what? You're having a good round over the pocket. That was good. You're hurting his body. The pressure you're sustaining. Keep that pressure. Angles and hit him hard to the body. The left hook. When he moves away, the long left hook. When he moves away, the long left hook.
Kan jeg godt se det, Mikkel, ikke? Og knalde den venstre ind i hovedet på ham. Og det står en højre hånd, ikke? Venstre op var godt. Snævert. Den sidder der. Det lover dig. Ikke? Godt.
Here you see Kessler led a tremendous right hand right on the chin. The average fighter would have been down. And you hear, see Andrade coming right back behind it.
Go, coach.
Miguel Kessler dominant through the first 6 rounds against Librado Andrade. Harold, how do you have it scored?
Okay, Bob, 6-0, 60-54, Miguel Kessler. Bob, it's the same thing over and over and over again. That's hit him and move, hit him and move, hit him and move, and that's what Kessler's doing. Librado Andrade's got to go to a plan B because plan A ain't working. You know, you watch it, he'll hit him with a left jab here, he'll hit him with a straight right, and he moves. There, hit him, he moves backwards, hit him, he moves to the side. It's just hit him and move. He's doing it all night. 6-0, Kessler.
Manny, is there a risk at some point here where Kessler has pounded Andrade, where he gets frustrated and maybe takes one chance
That's
too many?
definitely a big risk there, Bob. That was good because even though Andrade is being, out-punched and everything, he still is coming in. And if you notice, anytime he thinks he's got Kessler just for 1 second, maybe stunned or whatever, he comes alive and starts attacking right away. So this is, I guess, to some degree what he expected. And I think definitely if I was in Kessler's corner, I would be still very worried about this fight.
I halfway expect Kessler, who kind of looks like Dolph Lundgren's Ivan Drago.
Oh, my God.
To say in the corner one of these rounds, he's not human. Like Andrade's like Rocky Balboa. I mean, his sweat is flying off his head from flush rights and lefts, and he walks right through them unfazed.
But he's not going to continue to be able to take those type punches, though. Sometimes you don't knock a guy with one punch with a good chin, but accumulation of punches will take their effect. The right hand he just got hit with earlier is one of the greatest right hands I've saw in a long time that a guy didn't go down from.
Man, he wasn't even that hurt.
No. But I think exhaustion, I think in addition to the accumulation of punches is going to take their effect pretty soon.
Well, a tired, hurt fighter is also a dangerous fighter, and Librado can punch.
But you see now, just there, Andrade almost laid out a right hand. Manuel, he didn't snap it or anything.
No, he thought it was a right hand lead as one of his pet punches. But his punching power is growing tremendously now. And Kessler's punching with full power still.
Andrade does do little things to negate some of Kessler's power.
Yep.
He moves his head well with the punches.
Yes, I was going to.
And it takes some sting off the end of some of the punches that look good from Kessler.
His body's loose, relaxed, and he goes with the punches where the punches look like.
Not that time.
Having more effect than they should.
4-punch combination from Kessler.
But even when, Manny, as you mentioned, even when he's not rolling with the punches, he is relaxed to the point where his head seems to, I don't know, absorb that he rolls with them somehow naturally. He's limber.
You know, Kessler should be worried about even breaking his hands in this fight because he's landing so many punches to the head.
And another round in the books for Miguel Kessler.
Det er flot, Miguel. Det er ikke løgn, han er stærk, ham der. Han er sindssygt stærk.
He's strong. Just keep working. Keep him working.
Det er ved med at gå til siderne. Hvad?
Don't let him steal the round. Stay off the middle. This jab, this get this side, bang the body. Librado, you've thrown 5, 6, 7, 8 punch combinations.
Here you see Kessler land probably one of the most tremendous right hands that I've saw that didn't knock a guy out in a long time. 2 of them, as a matter of fact. And right there you see him come right back with a combination again right here. Every punch virtually landed. And Andrade is right there again, coming right back at him.
There was a featherweight not too many years ago named Daniel Zaragoza who absorbed punishment the same way, and I don't remember him ever going down, once from a body shot.
Now, Wayne McCullough touched upon something in between rounds. The one shining moment for Andrade in that last round was when he threw that combination to the body and he got Kessler going backward. He's trying to implore him to at least go to the body a little bit more.
But they're so far in between. As a matter of fact, every highlight punch that we've shown between rounds has always been punches from Kessler. Andrade still hasn't landed any devastating punch yet. It's just his strong determination is what's making this fight competitive.
I wouldn't call it competitive.
If I was at Kessler's corner, I would feel that way. I would still be worried about this fight, believe me.
You would be worried if you were in Kessler's corner.
Yeah, you're the guy with everything you've got, and he's still coming in.
Yeah.
And right there, good example. You can't get no better than that. Oh, my God.
What a combination by Kessler, and again.
Combinations, that's what I mean. Right on the money.
Kessler has to be wondering what he has to do. Maybe try it to the body once or twice. He's kind of exclusively been upstairs.
And isn't that the way to eventually get your knockout, is do some body work?
Yeah, I think Kessler's doing it. Just systematically breaking him down.
I believe it was Morales who eventually floored Zaragoza, if memory serves, with a body shot.
Right hand behind the ear. Kessler's a smart kid. We visited with him yesterday, and he understands that he's got to move past just fighting in Denmark. He wants to go to the States. He feels that he can be a bigger name in boxing. Talk about the business side, Max. Is he impressing an American TV public right now?
Hard to imagine that you don't want to see this guy fight again. The question is, the big fish in and around this kind of weight pond, you know, the super middleweight. Hopkins is really a big middleweight. Winky Wright is going up to fight him at light heavy, but he's also just a big middleweight. Jermaine Taylor's a big middleweight. Calzaghe's actually a super middleweight. Are these guys going to want to get in with this guy?
I'm very impressed with Kessler tonight. I mean, we all knew he was a good fighter, but tonight he's shown that he can dig down and grind. But he hasn't. But Andrade, on the other hand, has not been a sharp fighter, a technical fighter. He's just tested his will. But if he fights a guy like Calzaghe, I give him a very good chance.
He's also 28 years old in his physical prime. Calzaghe's in his mid-30s.
And he's only going to improve from this fight.
And the chant mounts for Mikkel Kessler. Copenhagen, Denmark has rolled out the red carpet.
You're losing the fight. You need to come in and you can beat this fucking guy, do you hear me? Stay off the middle. It's setting up double jab. It's controlling and dictating the tempo of the fight. The snappiness you had in the gym last week. You hear me? Snappiness. One double jab, right hand, left hook, the body. Back to the jab. 1-2, bang, straight. Left hook, right hand when he moves away. Do you hear me? The speed you need, the 4, 5, 6 punch count in. When you do that step in, he's getting away from your hook. When you can step in, close it in, bang the left hook. Do you hear me? Off the side, he's walking onto it. Step on, and then 4s and 5s and 6 punch. You can do 4 and 5, 6 punch coming in. You know you can.
Seconds out! Let's go, Coach. Wayne.
You know, we showed you the CompuBox numbers, and we've had 8 rounds of boxing, and Kessler has landed 160 more punches than Andrade. The corner of Andrade has not even broached the subject of, if you don't show me more, we're going to stop them.
You know, because I think they just have so much confidence in his ability to knock out guys late. Plus, William McCullough himself was one of those type of guys who took a lot of punishment and won fights after doing it. So there's probably the problem.
You asked about the business side, Bob. Andrade's getting $500,000 here tonight. So you know Kessler's getting a whole lot more. What's the incentive? Forget about the incentive for the other guys to fight him. What about him to fight them, to take a real risk? People like to see knockouts. The question is, after tonight, has Kessler, should he go on to win, created enough demand to really make it worth those other fighters' while to get in the ring with him and to make it worth it for him to leave Denmark?
Well, I think I have no question myself personally about his punching power. I just think that it's just the biggest factor in this fight is turning out to be Andrade's ability to take punishment more than any other factor.
And therefore, if Kessler can stop him, that'll be really impressive.
flip side, this will probably earn Andrade some bigger fights because people will say, hey, he can take a punch, he's tough, he's going to test my guy.
You could certainly see why someone would want to spar with him.
But you know, not only is Kessler landing punches, but almost every punch from Kessler is a power punch. He's landing clean, effective punches, but not like jab. He's loading up with all his power punches, and most all of them are landing.
Hey, from your Hall of Fame eye, the thing that's impressive about Kessler here is that he just sticks with his game plan. He doesn't seem to be pushing it or anything. He's going to stick with what he does best. He's showing a lot of poise.
Look, very, very good. I've been impressed with him all night long. And like I said, this is why, as I said, even if I was in Kessler's corner, I would be worried about just what I'm seeing right now. He's taking everything, and he's coming back. And if Kessler decides to just take one break for 1 second, Andrade is going to explode and come to life.
Andrade is having his best round.
And he picks up energy when he sees he's getting an advantage. Unlike a lot of guys who just lays back. That's not him.
And he's doing it by not throwing anything crazy, by throwing those winning shots. And as I say that, Kessler tees off.
Right hand to the ear. You know, it's interesting because Andrade was having a pretty good round.
He lost the round on that combination. You can't give him the round after that.
Nine in the books for Miguel Kessler.
The Kessler corner is wondering what Andrade is made of since he absorbs all those punches. They keep telling Kessler to step out right and use his right hook, and Andrade will walk right into it. But still, to keep his distance, he's still dangerous. Keep concentrating, keep your distance. Get some breaks, get some air, and then get in there again. Use the right.
Here you see, after losing the round for the most part, this beautiful pinpoint punching combination that Kessler came back with, which probably won the round, and really would have been a knockout probably of the average opponent.
You know, it's funny though, in slow motion. In slow motion, it doesn't look quite as impressive as when you're watching it live. Andrade does very subtle things that take the steam off some of those punches.
Yeah, very relaxed, loose body.
Harold, your scorecard through 9.
Okay, Bob. 90-81, 9 rounds to nothing. Miguel Kessler. As far as that 9th round goes, Andrade came close. I agree with Max. The combination at the end of the round was the solid punches in a round that won it for Kessler. So far, Miguel Kessler shows an unbelievably great ability to, to perform with beautiful ring generalship. I mean, he hits you solid shots. He moves. He gets out of the way of his opponent's shots. I mean, it's beautiful. Clean punching, good defense, effective aggressiveness, and absolutely gorgeous ring generalship. 9-0, Kessler.
And Emmanuel, we heard Richard Olson, the trainer in Kessler's corner. They're still worried about Andrade. They have the same point of view as you.
Yeah, because the guy's never given up. You can see he still has that same desire. Maybe not as much punching power, but he's putting a lot of pressure in. And if Kessler ever just takes a split second of a break off, Andrade's going to come back live, and Kessler can find himself in trouble.
Another combination from Kessler. It's been a clean fight. Not a lot of rough stuff as far as where the referee has had to step in. Blistering right hand from Kessler. A stiff jab from Andrade.
Andrade is superhuman. The fact that he walked through all that punishment and is having his best rounds over the last 2 rounds of the fight, he's superhuman.
And being the aggressor. He's actually pushing the fight still.
Kessler pumping out that jab. But
Kessler's fighting a very good fight still. I don't think he could do anything better than what he's been doing in his fight.
good left hook to the body after the right to the head. Andrade trying southpaw.
And kind of being effective with it.
One thing we've learned tonight is good right hand to the chest. Andrade hanging right in there, though.
Yeah, and right after that, Andrade's pushing the fight right back to him again.
End of round 10.
Come on, guys. Come on. Let him breathe. Get out of water. Get some water in my hand. Let him breathe, man.
Ya ves, tú ya estás sintiendo que cuando tiran los cuatro, acaba
Wipe his nose. The body need to stay on him. It's off his, try to stay off the middle as much as possible. Stay on him, bang the body, bang the head. When you're finished your combination, you need to start another one. When you're finished, you need to start another one because he's waiting for you to finish. And then he's trying to land the right hand at an angle. He's walking on the left hook. When you finish your combination, then throw the left hook. He's throwing a quick right hand. Do you hear me? Do you hear me? He's trying to step around to throw the right hand. He's trying to step around to throw the right. Throw your quick left hook after your combination. You two more.
He's still dangerous. I'll try on down.
Seconds out! Seconds out!
Op med de barader.
Go, coach!
Healthy respect from the Kessler corner. Warning Miguel Kessler, he's still dangerous.
Andrade looked exhausted in the corner that round. I thought I saw him cross himself with his right hand as he came out just now.
You know, and this is the type of where you might in these late rounds, Kessler may end up scoring a knockout through an accumulation of punches in addition to this fatigue setting in.
You know, we heard Wayne McCullough tell Andrade, Manuel, stay inside, work the body. How do you do that when a guy is pumping a jab at you like that?
All he can do is just do what he's doing right now. He doesn't have the coordination or the snap or whatever, or the speed to do that with a guy like Kessler. All he can do is just keep moving forward, but maybe with a little more intensity since he has nothing to lose at this stage now. You lost the fight. You just go and let it all hang out if you could and hope for a knockout.
You know,
but we can't go to the body. It's too slow.
You know, you mentioned coordination, Manny. I'm starting to see things I don't like from Andrade in terms of his coordination at this stage in the fight.
Right, and a lot of it is to give credit to Kessler. Kessler moves back and keeps him out of position a lot, where other fighters be bending in. It's right there, so that's what makes him get all twisted up and out of position. And otherwise, you wouldn't notice that. So give Kessler credit for that. He's fighting a very smart fight, moving in and out to the side, punching and going in and out.
The other thing about Andrade is he doesn't even mark up where the welts on his body, where the bruises and cuts on his face.
That is
He's
amazing.
like a cyborg on the outside, at least.
He doesn't have a mark on his face.
We talked with Librado Andrade yesterday. He talked about his wife, Josie, who he met at the Jack in the Box. They don't worry about money. They don't worry about life's pressures. They walk hand in hand and share dreams. The heart of kids. Andrade has the heart of a lion.
I would like to see Kessler, once he gets him hit, to throw a right uppercut. Because, you know, Andrade drops his head down a lot and he rolls to the punches. But if he get hit with uppercut, he wouldn't even see that. And I think it would hurt him.
All right, how many more?
But he's still coming forward.
I know he is, and it's unbelievable, but he is taking a beating. It's probably his best chance in those exchanges to catch Kessler hooking with him.
But Kessler's keeping him spinning and turning all night, which is very smart.
Last round is battle. You need to stay on him, get glue, and you need to hit him hard and knock him out.
Last round, touch him up.
Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
When you finish your combination, do the quick 1-2.
Last
when
round,
you finish your
They keep telling Kessler this is the last round. Just keep your distance. Use your left to keep him away. Keep your guards up. He's tired just like you. He's dead tired. Just keep your distance.
Come on. Do you hear me? Do you hear me?
Energía.
Vibrato.
Energía. Vamos a hacer.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me? Let's go. 3 minutes. Knock him out.
Seconds out. Seconds out, coach. Let's go. Touch him up. Come on,
Kessler knew this would be a hard fight, and it would be tough. You don't see that often, a hug before the start of the final round.
Great respect for each other. The same respect they came to this fight with, they'll finish it up with the same respect.
Through 11 rounds, Kessler has landed 226 more punches. Landed, according to CompuBox.
I said it would be really something if Kessler stops Andrade. At this point, though, Manny, since Andrade's only prayer is a Hail Mary, Kessler probably is best off just jabbing and moving, isn't he?
Yeah, but I think Kessler could still try for the knockout. I don't think that Andrade is any stretch for him. He's too wide and slow, and he may get knocked out himself, meaning Andrade. I think Kessler could fight us. I can't see Andrade knocking out Kessler under no means. It's too slow.
So why let him out if you're in the corner? Why let him out for the last round?
Right there.
Mouthpiece of Andrade came out.
Right there. Miguel. Okay. Time in.
Would you let your man continue, Manny?
In this case here, I probably would. I mean, at first, I've never had a fighter that got hit this much anyway, so my fighters have better defense. But, you know, he's the type of a guy that's never been seriously hurt in a fight still, believe it or not. And he probably did this in the gym a lot. That's probably his style. He's won a lot of his fights in the late rounds, and I've saw him knocking out guys like that.
And I guess on the flip side, Max, there is championships at stake here.
Well, I mean, that's what I'm saying. But if Manny thinks that he doesn't have the steam on his punches to catch Kessler, in that case, why let him out? Just to go the distance in the fight?
And that's probably what they're looking at. No, Wayne McCullough's still there. Well, Wayne is a warrior himself.
Wayne took some savage beatings and always walked through them. It's true.
I would like to see Kessler throw an uppercut. I think the uppercut would be a very effective punch. Everything he's throwing is on the top. And Andrade just dropping underneath. An uppercut he would never see.
Well, it may not be the smartest strategy, but the fact that Kessler is gunning for the knockout here is going to make him fans.
It's also not Kessler's temperament to get on the bike, is it, man?
No, it's not. He fought a good fight, and it would be a turnoff, I think. And he doesn't have to run from this guy. That's the uppercut right there. He need to throw more uppercuts. Fighting a very good fight there. Keeping him at a distance.
It's amazing that Andrade has not been down.
Gene Fulmer, Tex Cobb, Zaragoza. I mean, these are some of the best chins ever. By the time Andrade's done with his career, he might be in that category. It's unbelievable.
He can't go through too many more fights taking this kind of punishment.
And there's the mutual respect and the sportsmanship. Miguel Kessler dominant in Denmark. And what heart from Librado Andrade. Well, throughout the course of this fight, Miguel Kessler has been on point with that 1-2 combination, thundering right hands, and Manuel, it started early and finished.
I was very impressed with him tonight. And I think he's going to be a serious threat for Kazakhstan anyone at 168 pounds. Tonight was a growing and developing fight, and he passed the test.
And how Andrade never went down is amazing. Miguel Kessler, 38-0, 29 knockouts. pack the house tonight here in Denmark. Harold Letterman has it 119-109, giving just the 11th round to Librado Andrade. But it does go to the judges' scorecards.
And by the way, some of those rounds could be 10-8, even though he didn't stagger the guy really. So many clean punches.
I agree with you.
And let's take a look at the three judges who are scoring this fight through the 12 rounds. Tom Kazmarek from the United States. Recent notable Rahman draw against Tony. He had it scored a draw 114-114. John Keane from England. He had the Peter decision over Tony in their second fight, 118-110 for Peter. And also from the United States, Tom Miller. Liakovic decision over Brewster. He had it 115-112 for Liakovic.
We have the result.
Now for the decision, here's Michael Caro.
Miller, 120-108. Tom Kazmarek, 120-108. John Keane, 120-108. So, winner on all three judges, and still WBC, WBA World Champion, Kessler.
A dominant performance by Miguel Kessler, sweeping the judges' scorecards as he retains his championship belts at 168 pounds. And he looked good.
He looked very good. He was tested. And, you know, Andrade is not an easy guy for anybody to fight. He's a tall guy, takes an unbelievable punch, and continually applies pressure. And I think that Kessler was tested, and he finished up with enough energy. Instead of fading the last rounds, he finished up blazing away the last round also, as he did in the first round. And I was impressed.
Well, final punch numbers from CompuBox. And as you take a look at the total punches, look at the land. 253 more connects for Miguel Kessler over the balance of 12 rounds. He's known for his jab, and he was able to use that jab throughout the course of this fight, pumping out 532, landing at 35%, Andrade at just 10%, and then the power numbers as well. 49% connect rate with power punches for Kessler, only 10% for Andrade. Now let's send it up to the ring with Max Kellerman. He's with Librado Andrade.
Congratulations in going the distance. You took a million punches, it seemed. You never really looked staggered. You hardly have a mark on your face. Are you human?
Oh, yes, I am. I have a big heart. I know that from the start. That's what keeps me winning. I go with my head high. And the reason why is because I know I have a big heart. You know, I know where I stand. I know what's my limit. I know which are my faults. But this is a fight that you have to take, you know.
On the outside, it's hard to tell what you're feeling. You look tired in the corner at the end, but throughout, as I said, you never went down, never really looked that close to going down. How are you feeling inside towards the end of that fight?
I feel real good. I mean, I just want to keep a pace, but he's a tremendous boxer, you know, and I knew that from the start. I don't know, I just couldn't get my second win. I couldn't get more punches than 1-2, 1-2, 3. And it seems that he was gone. So that was his plus. I knew that was going to happen. But hey, it's a dream being here. It's great being around all these people. It's being in HBO. I know all my people back in La Habra are proud of me. And that's all I take, you know. I'm a time collector, and this is a wonderful time to collect.
Well, congratulations on the big payday and on one of the toughest showings you're ever going to see. Bob?
All right, Max. Well, Andrade, what a tough performance. What heart, Manny, that he showed in this fight. He has limitations as a fighter, but he certainly has championship heart.
Yes, he does. And the fight went pretty much as I expected. I thought it was going to be a tough fight. Kessler would have an edge. I thought that Andrade would have led it a little more, at least won one round. But he fought a great fight, and it just that Kessler was a very smart fighter. You know, he made Andrade look bad simply because he used a lot of footwork and ring generalship to keep Andrade out of position. When you have a guy that throws wide looping punches, if you block his punches, you keep his balance. If you let him miss completely, you keep him falling off balance and losing position. And that's what Kessler did. He fought a very smart.
Kessler is a very good athlete, but he's also a very good ring technician, isn't he?
Very smart, good eye focus and context, I said. Very intelligent. You look at him between rounds. He's fully aware of everything that's going on, and he studies an opponent very well. He's going to be a big factor in boxing, and the super middleweight is going to come alive. With him and Calzaghe in that position, I think maybe just only two that's known and excited, but they're going to have a great fight one day.
Well, you know, Miguel Kessler was dominant in his performance. He did everything right. Is there any demerit that you would say to the fact that he could not get Andrade out of there?
No, I didn't see nothing wrong with his punching power. I just have to give Andrade credit for having an unbelievable chin and face. He was never hurt or cut in this fight, and I cannot believe it. Kessler has great punching power.
Well, Kessler wants to come to the States. Did he maybe look too good? Will people not want to fight him?
Yeah, I think he would come in. He didn't spend the night boxing because he had to fight. He was forced to fight. But I would love to see him and Calzaghe fight.
All right, let's send it back to the ring. Max is with Miguel Kessler.
Congratulations, Mikkel. This guy, I mean, you were unloading dozens of hard shots every round. He never went down, never even really staggered. Were you ever discouraged?
Yes, of course I was, because he was a hard fighter from the first round, and I saw some of his last fight, and he was a very hard guy, so I always, you know, keep my energy and I'm going to save my energy to the last few rounds. But he was a hard guy.
You were not taking it easy in the 12th. Your corner said jab and stay away. You were gunning for the knockout. Do you feel that he carried his power late in the fight? Were you not bothered by punches? Why did you gun for the knockout?
Because, you know, the last round, 12 rounds, I had much energy left, so why should I save them and show HBO and United States and everywhere in the world that I'm the best champ? That's why.
Okay, you put on a great boxing display. What does this now mean about your future with regards to Joe Calzaghe to determine who is the best super middleweight in the world?
Of course. I dare you, Calzaghe. That's what I told him once before, and I hope he's going to fight me soon, if he dares, of course.
Congratulations.
Thank you, thank you.
Real quick, Joe Calzaghe is still the super middleweight champ. You can't take that away from him until he loses it in the ring. But Miguel Kessler is so clearly the #1 threat in the division, and at 28, many years younger than Calzaghe, with much less wear and tear, might be the best 168-pounder in the world. These two have got to get it on. Bob.
All right, Maxwell, you'll see